parent. I want to be that as well. I mean, it's hard to raise good children. It's hard to make it in this economy. And I'm telling you, it is a societal bellwether. It is known that as society declines, people get more obsessed with sports. And the system knows that. It's called bread and circus. They gave the Romans free bread, welfare, and free games. Bread and circus, folks. All right, I'm going to shut up here. Good points, Aaron. Adam in Canada, you're on the air. Go ahead.
Yeah, hey, I just wanted to say some stuff about vaccines. First off, the word inoculate comes from Latin inoculare, which refers to the practice of grafting plant species together to make a third hybrid species. Given that a lot of vaccines are incubated in monkey kidneys, I wonder what's really going on there.
Well, here's the deal. Vaccines are at least 500 years old. There is some truth to it. The problem is the companies are given liability protection and have a history of absolute carnage, from HIV in the products on record, Bayer Pharmaceutical with the factor VIII, blood drug / vaccine, to, I mean, every day or two I see articles about this company fined for 15 babies dying and vaccine experiments. You cannot trust these companies. That's my issue on the vaccines.
Well, I think that when you look at what a virus really is, it's identified by its molecular size and weight, not its behavior. And you might as well add metal shavings to your car engine to protect it from metal shavings.
Well, I agree with you. You know, if you really study viral technology, what they call these fourth-generation vaccines aren't even vaccines. They are nanotech. They are fully manufactured viruses that are nothing more than a self-replicating data program that reads and runs in a cell. And they're 100% manufactured. And they've got all sorts of piggyback stuff built into them. And then you find out the big vaccine companies were all set up by robber baron eugenicists 100 years ago, and it's all about population reduction. They've had vaccines out for a decade that they haven't gotten approval of, but we've documented they're piggybacking them into other vaccines that actually change brain chemistry. You know, to where you can't be aggressive or you can't be depressed. You've heard of the vaccines that, quote, cure drug addiction. Yeah, by attacking endorphin receptor sites. You know, I ran 10 miles today. I'm up to 10 miles now. I mean, I've lost 34 pounds in 6 weeks doing that. And you know what? I had a huge endorphin rush when I crossed over the 8-mile mark and went over and leaned over the leaned over the side of the road and threw up and went ahead and ran the extra 2 miles. Okay, I don't need a vaccine that'll go and attack my receptors. I want my natural dope, and I'm going to get it. I don't need the government's cocaine and heroin being shipped in. But those aren't even vaccines. Those are fantastic, journey, little microbes that go in and hit the targets. I appreciate your call. Great points. Kevin, Sean, Mario, Tommy, Zach, James, Robert, Susan, Jenna. We'll get to all of you. Let's skip to the end and go to some ladies. Let's go to Jenna in California. Jenna, you're on the air. Hey, Jenna. Come on down.
Alex.
Welcome.
Can you hear me?
I can. Just turn your radio down.
Okay, let me turn it down. My name is Gina.
Gina. Okay, go ahead, Gina.
Hi, Alex. Oh, my God. It's so, you know what, I appreciate your humbleness. I understand that a lot of us praise you and we say we love you, and we do. I do. We love you out here, but we praise you because we're so thirsty for something real. You know, I've never really been a dodo bird. I can say I've been, like, maybe ignorant to something because I did not know. But I was just woken up maybe a year ago by an older gentleman friend of mine. And he just said, let me show you something. He says, can you get to YouTube? And I said, yeah. So I sat down and I got this iPhone that with the connection, I can plug it into my TV and see everything on TV. And so he told me to go to YouTube and look up loose change. And ever since I looked that up, I had another niece with me. She's about 25. With me and her, not only did we wake up, we sprang up.
Tell you what, I want to hear more. Don't hang up, Gina. Did I get that right the third time?
Yep.
And then we'll go to Susan, Robert, James, Zach, Tommy, Mario, and others straight ahead. I want to hear more about your awakening, because there's folks out there listening right now who are awakening for the first time themselves. All right, we're going back to Gina. We're taking your phone calls. Massive news and so much more in the second hour coming up. Gina in California. So you started to wake up watching videos online. Please continue.
Can you hear me?
Yes, I can.
Okay. Anyway, when we saw Loose Change, when we sat there and we watched it from beginning to end. You know, I didn't understand all of the section codes. I didn't understand a lot of the. I didn't even know half of the people that the narrator was speaking on. But you know, I got this iPhone. I take notes. You know, I got it where it's jailbroken, so I can slide it down and take notes really quick. So I take notes on names. I know all about the Big New Brzezinski. Look, I'm an African-American woman out here in the inland area of California near the mountains. And, you know, I'm so woke that I didn't understand you before when you used to say, I'm getting chills. But you know what? I get those. When you get them, I get those. Sometimes when you're going and you're ranting, you're raving, and I'm driving down the street because I'm so addicted, I never listen to radio. I don't even watch TV anymore. I don't even have cable. I sometimes will go to friends' houses to watch some of the, you know, the reality shows like Housewives or something like that because it's entertaining. But as far as the news, I only watch it just to compare what they're leaving out. I only watch it to compare what I know is true to see what they're going to lie about or not even talk about.
Well, that's the same thing I do. And God bless you. I appreciate your call. Good to hear from you. Is I analyze the corporate media just to see what they're up to, but they're really blowing whatever credibility they had left with this, excluding Ron Paul from debates or giving him 89 seconds or saying he can't win even though he's in second place all over the country and talking down to people and all these dirty tricks. Or when he does get in second place in a poll, CBS and CNN and Fox all leave him out. I mean, that shows the system's scared of him. And even if you don't like Ron Paul's politics, it shows you the system tries to make you think the way they want to think. And who do they work for? A bunch of mega corporations bigger than most governments who could care less about our liberties and freedoms and who are trying to set up a global corporate government called a New World Order. And you bet I get chills all the time when I realize this stuff. It's mind-blowing. Let's go to Susan in California as well. Susan, welcome.
Thank you, Alex. Let me tell you, it is an honor, sir, to actually get on your show. I just wanted to have a little quick story for you. I wanted to say thank you for shedding light on the Bohemian Grove. I've been a listener every day for about a year and a half. The Bohemian Grove is what set the spark, and I went and found the information and started building and building, and I can't thank you enough for that. And I share that with a lot of other, friends and stuff. But my comment is about the dumbing down of America. And right now I have a foreign exchange student in our house, and I'm just amazed because when she came here, she was so she was so excited to share her culture. And in the school that she's at now, the kids, she would tell me, didn't even know where Europe was. They couldn't even point out Europe, let alone her country.
Well, I meant to cover it, and I didn't. And the guys will never remember how to find it because I don't remember the headline. There was an article like last Monday you guys gave me about, I think it was something like 40 facts about American school children, about American students' knowledge that'll blow your mind or something like that. And it was like 70-something% can't find Europe. I mean, these numbers were just off the charts. And that's the thing. I talk to adults, and they know how to do one job and go home and watch TV, and that's it. They don't know what continents are. They don't know what different species are. They don't even have basic information. And you can really see what they've done through this mind control and cultural dumbing down to us. 50 years ago, we had the highest test scores, the most inventors. Just on every front, the New World Order has ruined us.
Absolutely, and she couldn't believe that the kids were more concerned about how she did her nails as opposed to her country. I mean, it was just a punch in the gut here as an American.
Well, here's what they've done. They've gotten us to give up our birthright. All politics stuff, who cares about that? All history, that's boring. And no, let's talk about what type of bra you wear, what type of lipstick. That's what's important. They've given us petty mindlessness and made people artificially very, very shallow. But remember, that the globalists have done that so the general public isn't involved in the real world, so the criminals can run things. But the criminals are a tiny minority, Susan. Those of us that are awake are a minority, but we dwarf them probably 1,000 to 1. I mean, Kissinger's top guy at Kissinger Associates wrote Superclass 5 years ago. I had him on. He says there's 6,000 super gophers that run the whole planet, less than 20 families. Same analysis I had, reverse engineering their system, their oligarchy, or plutocracy, depending on how you want to look at it. But I mean, there's way more us than 6,000 of them. I mean, there's probably 20% of the country is pretty much awake. Even Gallup reports that. So we've got tens of millions. They got 6,000. So the New World Order, just because they've turned the general public into drooling zombies, who doesn't mean they've won the game. You understand that?
Yes. No, I totally understand that. And the other thing, too, that I can't believe is that she's going to Washington, D.C. soon. She won a contest out of all the different exchange students. And I told her, if they ask you who your host family is going to vote for, you tell them Ron Paul all the way. You know, like I said, I was an Obama zombie, and I just feel so disenfranchised and sick that I'm going to fight even harder for Ron Paul in his campaign.
Well, that's the way to go, and don't feel bad. Bush was so horrible and so wicked and so gross that we hoped Obama, we didn't support him, of course, but early on, Obama says he'll do this and that, and then before he even got elected, I said, look at his advisors, same people that Mitt Romney's got. I mean, Mitt Romney is a carbon copy of Obama. He has an R before his name instead of a D. That is the only difference, and it's so sad. And so I don't want to hear any conservatives or libertarians or constitutionalists make fun of Obama supporters. Mitt Romney, and I'm talking about his votes as a governor and what his company Bain Capital lobbied for. Abortion, open borders, carbon taxes, wrote Obamacare. Do I need to keep going here? Oh, bring her back up. I can hear her. Go ahead, ma'am.
I get really scared about, like I said, this election, and this one really makes me nervous because of the state we're in. Our back is up against the wall. We can't afford, 4 more years of this, and I'm really worried about this election. How
about a 20+% carbon tax that kicks in this year when everybody's already leaving California? I appreciate your call. I mean, and people are like, why would the government raise taxes when they know that stalls economies? Because the big mega insiders want to shut down everybody else. Why did Napoleon burn whole countries? Because he was taking over. Why did Hitler do that? It's called scorched earth, ladies and gentlemen. Let's jam in one more before we go to the second hour. I'll continue with calls till these are off the board. Then I'm going to get to all the news. But I'm taking calls right now. Kevin in New York, you're on the air. Welcome.
First-time caller, long-time listener. Thanks for everything. I was listening to the New York CBS AM affiliate last week, and they were talking about on their business report how if the Wall Street executives don't get their big bonuses, that's going to have a detrimental effect on the local economy here in the tri-state area, which is something you hear about every year for the last quarter century. And I live alone, and I go into this Alex Jones-style rant where I just, say it's because they're getting the bonuses, because they're selling this toxic derivative garbage, that it's a big detriment to our economy to begin with, and not, this byproduct, if they don't get their bonuses, it's bad for real